Hello, friends, and welcome. Back at you with another maintenance vlog. Patty's been keeping me busy. If you've been following along the videos, we just got back from Nismo Palooza, and it was great and everything. Had a really good time, as you saw. And, well, Patty broke down in the driveway when we got home. Having some idle issues. It was just like barely running, stalling, and it's actually still doing it. I don't know what my verdict is. I've tried cleaning up the throttle body and mass airflow sensor. I think I may have sucked a bit of water in on the highway because it was raining really hard, and I do have a snorkel, so I did find some water spots and stuff on the MAF, so I don't know if that got wrecked by water. I actually ordered a new one, so I'm just waiting for that to show up. But in the meantime, I've cleaned everything, and I'm going to do spark plugs because I think maybe they're fouled, but I don't know. It's been probably damn near 50,000 kilometers since I did the spark plugs, so it's definitely time to do them anyway. So we're going to get to that. Got some stuff out of the way. Just unbolted this wire harness so I could get down into where the spark plugs are. Move the intake out of the way. I have popped out one of these spark plugs. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that bad a shape, but they're like wet, so it's definitely running rich. So I don't know why. I still think it might be the MAF. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still waiting for that to come. These need to get changed no matter what, but we'll see if it makes a difference. One down, 5 more to go. We're 2 spark plugs in, and I think I found the culprit of the misfire. Spark plug number 2 had about half an inch of oil down in the whatever the tube that it sits in the head. And well, you know, there comes a time in every R50 owner's life where you got to do the valve cover gaskets. I've been putting them off for a long time, and I think my time has now come. I'm gonna have to. It's a bit of a job from what I've seen online, but I mean, it's all just a bunch of bolts and hoses, so it can't be that bad. But this upper intake splits in half, so I gotta take this top one off, and then the bottom part comes out, and then you can get down into this valve cover down there, because as you can see, there's not a lot of room there right now. This side doesn't look like it would be that hard, honestly. This side you could probably do, if you pop that throttle body off, you could probably just do it right there without taking the intake off. But, of course, this side is not the side that's leaking bad. It's the hard side. We love that. Anyways, yeah. We'll order some parts, see if I can get some valve cover gaskets and whatever other seals, and I might as well do the back. I think it's the cam position sensor back there. I might as well replace that while I'm in there and got everything apart, because I'd hate to get it all back together and then have that fail, and then you have to do the job over again. So whatever sensors and stuff I have to replace back there, I'm going to do it. We'll get you going again, Patty. So I guess that kind of puts a halt on the spark plug job. I might as well do it while I got the intake off, because then it'll be way easier, and I have to pull everything apart anyhow. So I'm just going to put those 2 spark plugs back in, and probably going to back Patty out and hit the engine bay with the pressure washer, because it's still got that Kootenai cream all over the place under here. Yeah. So I'll give it a wash so it's nice and easy to work on. And I'll have to call the parts guy tomorrow and get some parts on the way. Yep. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, Will. With the new developments in the issues here, I think that's probably all I'm going to do tonight. I'm actually going to wash the engine bay up really nice, and going to clean up my space here, because I'm going to have to pull all this apart and have somewhere to put it, and I got crap everywhere in here from working on the boat and whatever other stuff I've been working on. So yeah, just going to wash that up, clean this up, and we'll see you guys when I get some parts and I tear into this thing. Alright, welcome. It's a new day. I just ordered parts, so they're probably going to be I'm going to say a week. Usually it's like 5 days, but it's Tuesday now. So I'm assuming they'll be here probably next like Monday or something, or maybe on the weekend if I'm lucky. But I'm going to start tearing this thing down and getting ready for the new valve covers. Basically just going to unhook some of this stuff, get it out of the way. I'm going to pull the battery out, throw it on the tender, and we're going to start getting this intake out. Yay, let's get it. Alright, so we got the driver's side fairly opened up here. Let me get some light. So we got pretty much everything off the top of the valve cover except for the coils. I don't want to pull those out yet just because they're dirty and their stuff will fall in there. And then now we're going to start working on this side. I can't really clean up too much in this area because this is like all held in with fuel lines and stuff, and I don't really feel like taking those off. I'm going to try to disrupt as little as possible here. I don't feel like opening a can of worms. But basically next is I'm going to take this upper plenum off. Old school guy taught me this trick long time ago, but draw a quick diagram and poke some holes, and when you take the bolts out of each one of these spots, and then you can put the bolt in the corresponding spot, and then later when I look at this like in a week when my parts show up, I can be like, oh yeah, well this bolt goes there, this goes there, this goes there. Easy peasy, saves a lot of headache. I did it with the valve covers too. Kind of got a quick list. Those are all the bracket bolts. These are the valve cover wire bracket hold down bolts. I'll do my coils and stuff on there, and then I'll probably build one more sheet for the lower plenum, and Bob's your uncle, apparently. We'll get right back to it. Alright, so I got all the bolts that I can see out, and there's definitely some back there. I don't know what's back there, so I have a tack. One of the beauties of having a spare motor in your backyard is I can just go take a look at that. Also, it's a beautiful day. It's pretty windy. Knocked all our garden pots over. Alright, we get a good look here. And those are on the lower. Oh, so just this one. I've got this. So I got one more. Okay, so there's one more bolt back there I gotta get. And then we'll get this upper off. Okay. Oh, I can actually see that bolt now that I know where it is. It's right there. Also, let some air out of the tires. Oh, I can see myself hitting my knuckle. Very simple. There we go. Oh, that one's a bit of a tippy toer. Alright, so that was on the back side of the throttle body. There. And there's all the upper bolts in the correct spots, except for the 4 corner nuts. Those are in my little bolt pan, but I'll remember that. It's mostly just because these are all like different lengths and stuff, so it's nice to know where they go. Perfect. As far as marking these vacuum lines and whatnot, I have a good memory. What? Not that good. So I've just been doing dot, dot. Over here I did one dot on the hose. But yeah. I'll just put corresponding dots and you just line up the dots at the end. Easy. Alright. Now, I believe I've got everything unhooked except for the one hose on the back of the throttle body. Feels quite loose. I have one more bolt right there. When you're doing stuff like this too, just like nothing should be, you shouldn't really have to force any of this stuff, especially when it comes to like the engine. If it doesn't come just with some simple prodding and prying, then look back over what you did because you might have missed something. But this is gonna pop right off now, looks like. Everything except for this one coolant line on the bottom. Alright, so we got that upper plenum out. It is definitely a good thing we're doing this because these intake gaskets are shot. And it looks like it's been, like if you look Right on the edge of the gasket where it meets the head here, there's oil just outside of the gasket, so this gasket is no longer doing its job. Alright, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these screws out of these power valves and I'm going to Loctite them. In the history of this 3.5, people have eaten those valves. So the screws back out and they fall down into the motor. Thus far causing either no damage at all or catastrophic failure. So mine are all here. I've seen pictures and stuff online of people taking this manifold out and like the butterfly valves are like literally there'll be like one missing. And they'll be like, oh, is this a factory defect? It's like, no, actually your motor ate it. And be thankful you're one of the lucky ones that it didn't grenade the motor. So yeah, I'm gonna address that situation. Well, yeah, also, if you don't have yourself one of these little coolant crimp plier, get yourself a set. They are extremely handy for this kind of thing. I have not dripped, well, I shouldn't say I haven't dripped any coolant, but like I've dripped maybe an ounce of coolant. Basically whatever was in that throttle body. Everybody that I've seen do this, they drain the whole coolant system. I'm not doing that. Smarter, not harder. Finger in the back and hold it there. Double this up. Oh yeah, it gets them every time. Alright. Well, so far this has been the worst part. Sometimes don't you wish you just had like a little tiny hand? Lots of times I get Alyssa to help me with this stuff. Oh yeah. We're getting there. Oh, this is going to be very interesting putting this one back in. Got it. Here we go. Alright. I think only 4 more bolts and this lower one's out. What I read on the internet, these ones are Loctited, these middle. I saw one thing on YouTube where a guy was doing this and he said that Nissan doesn't use blue Loctite. And I say, BS, buddy. Blue Loctite. And I've also seen blue Loctite on other things on Nissans. So that's a false statement. But that guy's detour or whatever walkthrough on how to do this is super informative. No hate to that guy. It is interesting that they blue Loctite these middle ones. They must be worried about them backing out. But I'll probably put a dabble of blue Loctite back in just the way I found it. And I know this Nissan, I pretty much can guarantee this motor. I have all the bills. I have all the maintenance history on this thing. And this has never been done. And the guy that I bought it off of doesn't... he does not work on his own cars, so... I can pretty well guarantee that this motor, this intake has not been opened up. Alright, 2 more. All in all, I was stressing out a little bit about this job. That's why I procrastinated it for so long. Because I've kind of read some horror stories online. But so far, this has been peanuts. I guess I can explain the valve cover situation. So basically, from what I understand and what I've been researching online, the 3.5 R50 motor with plastic valve covers, the O-rings for the spark plugs are not serviceable. So that being said, I've seen some people have serviced them. I did think about it because it would have saved me about $150, but basically I decided to order the complete valve covers just to kind of mediate the chances of those leaking right away again, because I do not want to do this again. So yeah, I ordered the whole valve cover. It comes with the PCV valve and should be pretty straightforward swap out once they show up. They're supposed to be here in like 5 days, so I still don't think it's going to be here till next Wednesday. I say a week. The internet says 5 days, but we'll see. I live in a small town, so stuff goes a little slower to us. But yeah, I see this wiggles. So let's see if we can pull it out. All right. I think... Oh, no, we still got to pull off one more. Is that a coolant line back there? Shoot. Okay, so it is loose and ready to come up, but there's one more coolant line at the back. I'll get that off. I believe if I just lift this straight up now, I think I got everything. Yes, I do. I can get a better look at those butterflies in there. I think those just open up for extra. It opens up both runners, so when you're at like full throttle, it opens these so the air runs through both sides, I believe, where normally it only runs through this side. Something like that. You know, Nissan trying to reinvent the wheel always. But all in all, not even that dirty. Bit of oil, but that's because my PCV valves have been shot and these seals all are shot, so it's just kind of leaking a bit of oil. But oh, there is some serious oil down in there. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm doing this. All right. Put this in the shed with the other stuff. All right. Well, we got the intake manifold off, and now these valve covers should be super slack. We got a couple of hoses to pull off. Yeah. I thought I read there was a rear thermostat in this freaking thing. Is there one back there? Oh, there is. So right down in there, I don't know if you can really see, but right down there is a backside thermostat. I know lots of people have issues with heating problems, and they replace a bunch of stuff, and then it still does it, and it's because they don't know there's a thermostat back there. I am not going to touch it. I made the executive decision that I don't want to... If it ain't broken, don't fix it. That's what I've always lived by. And in my previous experiences, what happens with me anyways is I monkey around with all this stuff, and people say, well, change the O-rings in the injectors and do this and change this coolant line. My luck, it ends up leaking. I get it all back together, and then I have a problem with that sensor. I got a problem with a O-ring leaking, or, you know, I got no leaks under here right now, so why would I touch it? The thing that's leaking is the valve covers, and that's what I'm going to replace. Simple as that. All the coolant lines, I thought maybe I'd replace a couple of these coolant lines because they'd be old and crusty and maybe rip when I try to take them off. I did not run into any of that. Everything came apart nice, so I'm just going to change the valve covers, man. Valve covers and obviously all the intake seals because I took that all apart. And I'm also changing the spark plugs. Right, I forgot about that. That's easy though. But yeah, I'm going to keep plugging away, get a couple more of these things unattached. And yeah, I think that's going to about do it for today. I'm just waiting for parts now, so I guess I'll see you guys when I get some parts. Or maybe we'll work on something else. Maybe old Blue. Maybe old Blue needs a spotlight. Yeah, maybe we'll tinker on the boat a bit. We'll see. I'll see you guys when I get back. Hello, it's another day, and it's actually Tuesday. It's been almost a week since I was filming last, and guess what showed up? Car parts. Patty parts. Silly wants to help unbox. We're just gonna check out the magnet. We got Phil's Volvo. That's actually a pretty cool one. Add that to the hoard. We got our intake gasket kit. Those look nice. It's not a knife, but it is a razor blade. It is extremely sharp. Alright, I opted to get the entire valve cover as one unit. I don't know, I didn't feel like pissing around, and these were honestly fairly cheap anyhow, so. And yeah, those O-rings do not look very stiff. There's only one. There's no oil in this box, so that's a good thing. And yeah, here we go. Nice. It does come with a new PCV valve. All brand new. These were $90 a piece. Cool. Now to get them put on. Okay, finally back in the carport working on Patty. Got all the bolts undone on the driver's side valve cover. And yeah, just about to pull it out. And I'm gonna have to take something else off because this is not gonna wiggle out of there, I don't think. Oh, maybe. Oh, I see. Okay, I got the front out. And then the back should just pop out along with all of this. Try not to get too much dirt in the motor, which there's already some in there anyway. There we have it. One valve cover out. Probably shouldn't do that, but I just did. Alright, so we got everything cleaned up. I'm going to toss some new spark plugs in real quick. Okay, I'm running an Iridium 4469. I don't know, this is what was in it, so this is what I replace it with. So I've had the Pathfinder for going on 5 years now, and I've put on about 80,000 kilometers, like 70,000 kilometers. And I did the spark plugs when I first got it, and I haven't touched them since, and they're definitely due. They're pretty worn out and ugly. We got the oil somewhat cleaned out of that middle one. Don't really know how you're supposed to clean that out. I mean, there's not very much in there, but still, there's a little bit down there. Maybe I'll try to use a paper towel and roll it up and just stick it down there and dab some of that out. We'll give that a shot. If I roll this into a nice little tube, that'll fit down in that hole. Should be able to wick up whatever's oil's down in there. No problem. Let's see how we do. Give that a little twist and a little wipe. There we go, it's working. There's not much down there, but might as well get whatever I can out. Yeah, now there's like none down there. Let's see if I can look down in there. There's nothing down there. It's all one here. Schlick. Alright, well, I'm going to start getting this button back together. I don't think you need to watch everything. And, yeah, wish me luck. Alright, new valve cover's in. That seemed to go rather nicely. Oh, try not to pull it off the seals, but it seems like it's got a good seat there. Yeah. Gonna wire brush each little bolt because there's a little bit of oil on each one, or old dirt, or whatever you want to call it. Freaking mosquitoes are bad this year. We've been getting so much rain that the mosquitoes are... last year we didn't have any mosquitoes, but we also had record-breaking fire year, so maybe the mosquitoes are a good sign. I still don't like them, though. But they can be a good sign. Alright, let's get her buttoned up. All in all, I think this job is still going pretty smoothly. Haven't ran into any hiccups yet. So far, so good. I actually don't really mind doing this kind of work. It's pretty slack. It's kind of nice, honestly. It's pretty satisfying, like fixing up a vehicle. It's all just bolts and wires. It's not too hard, really. Just got to document the way things come apart and whatnot. And yeah, I think the worst part about this is doing it all alone. I used to, from Regina, I used to have a good support group of car friends, and it seemed like we were always hanging out together and working on cars all the time. Always in someone's garage, just chilling out, fixing someone's car or whatever, tinkering away on whatever projects you guys have. I miss that. It's probably the worst part about moving to BC is missing all my Saskatchewan friends. But it's the way she goes when you want to move away from a province that you grew up in. It's hard to find those same connections. Especially when you're 38. I'm not 38 yet, but almost. Okay. Well, I have gotten every single bolt is tight. Choke, throttle, lighter, wipers, lights, keys. Little thing I say to... That's stupid. Grandpa used to say that. He had an old truck that was choke, throttle, lighter, wiper, lights, and keys. They were all in like an order on the dash. So that was like his little pre-trip. Choke, throttle, lighter, wipers, lights, keys. So now whenever I'm checking stuff, that's just make sure I did everything. Choke, throttle, lighter, wipers, lights, keys. Pretty silly. Alrighty. So cylinder number 6. All right. Cylinder number 4. Alright, last but not least for this side, coil pack numero 2. Deuces. And then we can go to my handy little map here, and we got coils, front, cylinder 2, 4, 6. So we'll throw those in. This is actually tedious work, because last time I was flying my drone, I don't know if you can see that, right on the tip of my thumb, I sliced my thumb with the drone wing. I was landing it and I was trying to catch it, and for whatever reason it dipped a little bit, a little gust of wind, and it just ever so slightly nicked my finger, which is a fear of mine for sure. If you've ever been close to a drone, you'll know what I mean. They're kind of sketchy when they're flying close to you. I always knew those things would cut you up pretty good, I think. Alright. Here's something interesting. So I bought brand new valve covers because I didn't want to touch any of the gaskets, and I just wanted all new ones and everything to come nice and together, and I could just slip it in there. Deadly. So that's been going really well, but I just realized, some light, the oil filler neck doesn't come with a new O-ring. So I don't know if it fell out inside of this box, maybe? Not there, not here. No. Get out of here. I guess I'm gonna have to fish the old one off of here. If I can without damaging it. Interesting. You think if you bought the valve covers it would just have the O-ring. I'm actually a little surprised it doesn't have the filler neck. It came with a new oil cap, but not the neck. Weird. Anyway, back to business. Alright, Alyssa just got home, so I think that's gonna cut my mechanic night. Maybe I'll come back after supper, but I'm not too sure yet. But I did get the driver's side all buttoned up. So we got the new covers in. We got a little bit of everything going on. Everything's back together. Got the coil packs in, new spark plugs in, all the wiring hooked back up. We just got, I think this, I don't know what these are. These go into the intake. These two go into the throttle body. This one goes to the back. I forget where that one goes, to be honest, but I'll figure it out. And yeah. Next session, I gotta do the passenger side, which is arguably the harder side, and I like to save the harder ones for last because I don't know why. I like to torture myself. So far, all in all, I think I'm about 5-ish hours into this job. I'll probably be looking at a 10-hour job by the end of this, I would imagine, but fingers crossed it goes good, and we'll see on the other side. Back at it after another hard day of work. We're back on Patty. Got pretty far yesterday. Yeah, we're gonna just start off. I got all the bolts out of the valve cover on the passenger side. Just gonna pop that off, clean up a little bit of silicone in the corners and the surface, and then we're gonna get that new one put in there ASAP. Alright, so far this has been basically the worst part. I can't get this valve cover out because it's hitting this bracket. The bracket's like an intake. It looks like a bracket to kind of help hold the weight of the intake plenum. And the bolt is like in the worst spot, way down there. And like everyone, I'm sure, I'm, let's say, at a shortage of 10 mil wrenches. All I have is this little stubby ratcheting one. Like I can just, with my little pinkies, just get it on there. So I'm having trouble, so I'm going to try to get this ratchet in there. I need to invest in some 10 mils, man. Seriously. But, yeah. Wish me luck. I'm gonna keep on tinkering here. Well, I'm hoping that with this, and maybe with the doubling, maybe with like the doubling technique, you know, where you get this on like that, and then you do one of these. We'll try that out. I should tape it, maybe. Ooh. Alright, everybody, try not to laugh at me, but here's my wrench. Oh, way too funny, man. Hurts my legs. Okay, this sucks. This really sucks. Okay, I'm gonna struggle with this for a while. I'll get back to you when I get it finally. Try not to get too mad. Alright, we got her. Valve cover's off. Here's the state of the top side of the valve train. I don't know. Looks like a 335,000 kilometer valve train to me. Looks pretty good, actually. I don't know. I don't see anything like, I don't see any scoring or anything on the cams. Like, I don't know. Looks alright to me. So, yeah. Got that out. I was going to throw a little bit of RTV in the corners here. And Bob's your uncle, as they say. I actually don't have an Uncle Bob, but people say that. I always give her a little tap to get her in. See a little bit of squirt, but not too much silicone. Here's my trusty dusty magnet. Give her a couple spins so it doesn't come back out. And you got her. I love magnets. Also, another tool that makes this handy is this screwdriver. What do I want to call this? It's a screwdriver extension, I guess. I don't know. But man, it works so good at just like getting right down in this little skinny spot. And once I get it on there, if we go two hands, look at this. So nice. She's tight. Couple with the ratchet. And that's tight. Beautiful. I'll actually show you guys the point of failure on this valve cover is right here. The gasket was actually in two pieces. And it's like crispy dry. Look at, that's definitely not supposed to just break apart like that. Sure, these, oh man. See, I was gonna try to change these O-rings, but I read online they're not serviceable. I'm sure some you can, but yeah, she was sweating. Of course, this is the side you can't really see, so I'm gonna grab this. Alright, valve cover's on. I just gotta tighten up the bolts, and both valve covers are done. And then it's time for the intake. I'm not gonna do that tonight. Gonna do it tomorrow probably. I'm gonna go touch some water. Alright, that about does it for this video. I'm like at 30 minutes or something already of footage, so I know I already asked what you guys think of these style of videos in previous videos, but you guys said that you do like this style of video, so I'm just going to keep doing it. I think we're going to call it Tinkering Thursdays. I'll try to put them out on Thursdays, and we'll see how many we can do. We're definitely going to be back to you with more on this Patty situation, and until then, we're going to go touch some water. Alright, here we go. Touch some water.